Heck yeah, I want to so that's the thing. Generally I have complete control over it. You know, sometimes it's like, well, like you saw. See, there you go. That's basically what happens. You know? I'll get some of them just coming in trying to worry, or sometimes a couple. But sure, it did become stronger and stronger. But I have to say that I'm letting it happen as well. I'm completely encouraging. I'm telling my multiple personalities not to be afraid. I'm telling them that they can speak, that this is their chance. And those are triggers. They're all triggers. So, well, because the child will want to express themselves. But it's hard to be understood. You know, your face when you're a child, or the muscles in your face, they haven't completely formed yet. I mean, they actually, I think if they're right, they don't completely form until you actually finish puberty. At that point, then you have your facial and muscles and everything. When you get, really, that's the face you get. Usually, well, if you're not given estrogen like that, my face would be just a little more. I was a lot stronger bone feature bones and a little, thicker. Maybe like me, I wasn't tall, so that's basically it. I mean, complete control, and this has been for quite a while, and it's going to stay that way. I have to admit that sometimes some of my personalities are aggressive, and they do speak in violent ways. It's true. They might react a bit impulsive, but the thing is that I wanted to let them express themselves. I wanted to let them do it, because they themselves are sometimes complete reenactments. When you create multiple personalities, you will go to places that you feel safe. So you will actually create multiple personalities, like people that you really trust and love. You will have characters that will be like your father, like your mother. You will have characters that can be like cousins and other siblings. And you'll also have multiple personalities that are going to be friends and people you love. And in my case, since they kept creating them and they constantly traumatized me, which is the biggest trigger that you can give a person with multiple personalities, by traumatizing them, by doing things that are going to scare them or make them feel insecure. And I mean, one of the things that with me, doctors and police, that just brings it out right away, I have to admit. Because the people that raped me when I was a baby, that's what they were. Or they were working in places like this. Well, that's the impression I got. I don't know if I'm right. They could just be triggers as well. Because I find that even my personalities themselves are trying to trigger other things. They're trying to trigger other things in the other personalities, make them come out. So it is a bit of a strange thing happening, but I'm coping pretty well. I think, I've always said, you have to kind of do your best to accept who you are. And yes, it's kind of hard to accept that the only reason I am a bit of where I am is because of what all these people did to me and what they put in my body. But you know what? It's not like I have the power to change it like right now. Maybe one day, I don't know. But the thing is that I have to accept that. I have to accept who I am. And I do that very well. And like I said, I let them do this. I let my personalities speak up. But, I am a professional who is very well educated. There's probably nobody that could tell about itself. There's probably nobody that can actually have so much information. I mean, there's probably nobody on earth who knows as much as I do. Now, like I said, sometimes some things, it's my personalities, try to trigger things. So they literally will say and do things because my multiple personalities themselves have a tendency to meld into one another in the subconscious as well. But that's actually a natural occurrence in the subconscious. It's just, it doesn't really happen as much. It happens in conscious as well, but not as easily. It happens in a more kind of strange way. You'll get stuck on a word, or you'll stutter and it'll sound like something else, or you'll even start saying things that you don't know nothing about, or that you never read about. Like seriously, you'll never see me pick up a newspaper. You'll never see me read news or look at news very often. Maybe once in a while, maybe a curiosity, but I'm not that type of person. And yes, I mean, as a child, I read a lot of books, but I had a lot of books that I had no access to. So it was impossible for me to actually know these things. And my multiple personalities, well, yeah, of course, they're always going to jump into my personality. That's the way it is. And in the conscious, not me being completely unconscious, not knowing what's going on, that does not happen. Because these things happened in a subconscious state, also because I put myself in a subconscious probably state the first times they abused me. So what happens is that I started creating personalities, and then they kept doing this. They kept bringing me into that subconscious state, in these personalities. So basically, what I saw is that in my childhood, I had written, done, said, acted out in certain ways, and even left trace all over the place of what was going on. Because, you see, what happens is that this is a child, so these are children being abused. All these personalities, the first ones, they're all children, right? They're all babies and children. So they also had to find ways to get the truth out there. So what they do is they kind of push into the conscious and leave a trace of themselves. Like, I would do something, I would write something, I would draw something, all kinds of things like that. I would have certain ideas, and they were literally reflections of what these people were doing to me in the subconscious, in my multiple personalities. Because once the multiple personalities are created, and they tend to stay, repressed. And if somebody is doing it on purpose to repress them, like by fear or violence or etc., they tend to stay a little. But actually, the truth is it's the other way around. The truth is it works better to make a person feel safe. It's better if the person feels safe. If the person feels happy and safe, doesn't feel oppressed, exploited, doesn't feel like his rights are being violated, all these things. If this person doesn't have that in their life, this person has multiple personalities, and they're living literally a very good, fun, happy life, generally, well, what happens is that actually those personalities will tend to just stay hidden. They might come in, but you really have to have triggers, and sometimes some people, the triggers come years later. I mean, some people get triggers and they're like in their 40s, 50s, 60s. I mean, they're happy, their lives are great, they don't have this trauma to constantly recall these personalities, because I don't know if it's everybody, I don't know, but I think it is. I think, and this is probably, let's be serious. This is a theory of mine. The truth is, the only way a person can be disconnected to their multiple personalities is because, generally, they're being repressed, right? But the truth is, generally, those multiple personalities always make their way through. But a person like me, is constant abuse. So what's happening is I'm being exposed to violence, different types of violence, different types of situations with violence, and what happens, create another personality. So it's like I had a lot of trouble actually having those come through, but they always came through consciously. It's like they never possess me. It's conscious, you know? It's not like, it's almost like it's a part of you. It's like, it's a part of you. It becomes a part of what you are. Without really you realizing that you're doing these things. And people with multiple personalities who keep getting traumatized, well, they create these new ones, who deal with new situations, and they do all kinds of things. But you have to also understand that they also do it in connection to the conscious. Now, and that this is, like I said, it's the child that unconsciously knows that this person is bad because the face, there's a signal in that face, it signals something in their brain, so, right?